Hello, everyone. Let me see if I can get the camera light to work. Whew. Nope, not. There it is. Okay. Ah, so it's kind of redundant. I mean, it is a. I don't know if you can see it. There you are. It is a bright sunny day, but I figured I would go ahead and just put the camera light on so I could see a little bit better. Um, oh wow, I've really got some eczema happening today. Ooch. Right now, we are in the cool part of my husband's man cave because I wanted someplace really cool to make this announcement. I love what my husband's done. Uh, some of these are wrestling shows he has promoted himself. The two directly above my head, John promoted himself. And some of these are from our friends, and some of these are from events we've gone to. So I thought there was like no cooler place to make this announcement for my followers. Um, and of course, we have a tribute to Zoe over there. And this is my husband's Lucha Mask collection. Mine's upstairs. I haven't displayed it properly yet. I've got Aerostar's mask, but I need a new stand for it. These are my husband's masks. But like I said, I needed someplace cool to make this announcement, and this is the coolest place. So, I want to tell a story before I tell my big announcement, because the story bleeds into where this announcement is heading. So, a couple months ago, right before Thanksgiving, I got diagnosed initially with hypothyroidism. And you might think, like, oh no, that's a bad story, but actually, that was really great news. And I'll tell you why. When, before I got my hypothyroidism diagnosis, I had a whole bunch of these weird ailments. I have eczema, as you can see. I'm in full flare right now. Normal flare, so don't panic. I had eczema. I was suffering from weird anxiety attacks out of nowhere, weird panic attacks out of nowhere. There was no reason for me to have anxiety, but it was pretty bad. Um, I had some muscle pains, I had some arthritis flares out of nowhere, and then my doctor ordered like test after test after test after test after test, and she found that I had hypothyroidism, and that blew up into full Hashimoto's. Now that sounds bad, but to me that was good news because for like my entire adult life, I had all these weird health ailments and nothing to connect the dots. Hearing I had Hashimoto's made everything better. It was like, hey, now I know what's causing. Oh, hi, Winter Sayori. Now I know what's causing the eczema, the anxiety, the flare ups, all of that. So I got put on lavoxathorine. And the first thing I noticed with lavoxathorine, oh, thank you, Winter, here and there, but like not really seriously bad. So I was like, okay, that's good. I started to feel a little bit better, but then late January, I started feeling fatigue out of nowhere. And this wasn't, thank God it wasn't like COVID levels of fatigue, because COVID fatigue is unlike anything else. But I was feeling unusually tired. I'd be in the middle of a sentence and all of a sudden, I gotta go take a nap. I never nap. So that was weird for me. So January things start getting a little bit weird. And I'm looking it up online and I'm like, okay, maybe it's the Hashimoto's. Because it's going to take a while for the lavoxathorine to build up in my system. That's probably just what's happening. Then a couple weeks ago, um, things start to get a little bit weirder. All of a sudden, I'm eating Greek yogurt. Now, most of you are probably thinking that's nothing. To me, I hate Greek yogurt. I've always hated Greek yogurt. And then suddenly, I want Greek yogurt. I'm like doing Greek yogurt recipes, and I'm like, what is going on? Why am I cooking with Greek yogurt? So I started having like weird symptoms, weird wants for foods that I usually do not touch. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Well, I had another doctor's appointment. I tell my doctor what's going on, and I've got this strange back pain out of nowhere. And she starts asking me a bunch of questions, and then she's like, well, when's your period due? And I looked at my Planned Parenthood app, and I'm like, huh, I didn't get a period this month. Like, I'm totally a week behind. And she was like, okay. Oh, hi, Tyler. Happy 2024. So she was like, huh, so you've got a weird back pain, you've got something happening with your taste buds, and you missed your period. Yep, it's leap year. So she was like, okay, well, there's a medicine we want you to try, but before we try it, we got to have you go through these blood tests. And I was like, ugh, I'm anemic too. Okay. So I go to get my blood test, and I get my test results on my phone, and the MyChart app says that my H levels are high. And I'm like, well, what the hell does that mean? And my doctor says, okay, you've got some high levels. We need you to come back to the clinic, take another blood test, and if the H levels go back down, we'll put you on this medicine. If the H levels double, then we're going to have to talk about some life changes. And I was like, well, gee, that sounds fun. So I go back, I take another blood test, and I'm feeling like kind of light. So they give me my apple juice and some little teether crackers to munch on to get my blood sugar back up. And then the following day, I take my mom and brother to work, and then John had to go to the bank. So I dropped John off at the bank. I'm waiting in the parking lot for him. My chart dings me. So I was like, okay, well, what's this happening? So they show me my levels. Now, I didn't read the first blood test that clearly. It wasn't an H level, it was an HCG level. And I was like, HCG, what the hell does that mean? Now, like I said, the doctor said if my number had stayed the same or gone down, I would have been put on different medication. She was waiting to see if it doubled, because she said if it doubles, you've got some life changes happening. This thing more than tripled. We went from 325 HCG all the way up to 1270, 1270 HCG. And I was like, okay, what does that mean? So John and I scroll through the app, because by this point he's gotten back in the car, and we scroll down. We're like, what is an HCG level? So we scroll on the app, and it says, this is the level for people who are pregnant. Excuse me? So John reads it over and over and over again. His hands are shaking like this. He's trying to Google stuff as fast as he can. He types in HCG, and it comes up, if you're pregnant, here's your levels. I turned my happy ass immediately around to the clinic, and I ran up the stairs, and I was like, can you have a nurse come out and explain to me the whole thing with HCG? So the nurse comes to get me. It was the same nurse that let me know I had Hashimoto's. The nurse takes me into a private room. Hi, Holden. So the nurse takes me into a private room, and she closes the door, and she's like, do you know what HCG levels are? And I said, no, and I'm not going to Google it. I want a health professional to tell me what are HCG levels and why are they so high? And she says, your HCG levels are high because you're 5 weeks pregnant. And I was just like, ee! And she was like, is this a happy E? Is this a sad E? Is this a mad E? And I was like, no, you don't understand. I have literally never been pregnant before. I've been trying for 10 years. This is the best news I'm ever going to get in my whole life. And she gave me a big hug, and she was like, I'm so happy. The last person did not want this news. I was like, no, this is happy. So, the reason why I've been red in the face my last few videos, and I've had weird fatigue going on, is I'm 5 weeks and 5 days pregnant. And I could not possibly be happier. We tried for 10 years. I have never been pregnant before. And the nurse asked, like, what was the big change? And I said, well, a lot of things had to happen. My husband has a heart condition. So the first thing we did for him was we changed his diet. I wiped out a bunch of high sodium foods. I don't buy soup anymore, because even organic soup is crazy high in sodium. Yep, Holden, it's true. So, like, I wiped out soup from his diet. I wiped out a lot of high sodium, high crap food. If we did do fast food, it was like low sodium options, like the vegetarian thin crust pizza at Pizza Hut. That's fine. And then I did the diet with him just out of care and respect because you shouldn't suffer alone. And then we gradually, when he started to feel better, we gradually went towards a Mediterranean diet, which I'm on right now. And then the other things that helped, I got put on lavoxathorine. I got put on high doses of vitamins because I had this crazy bad vitamin situation going on. And what am I on? I'm on a prenatal, iron, D3, and magnesium. So that's how bad my vitamins were. So, like, it was a combination of me going on lavoxathorine for my thyroid and changing my diet and changing my vitamins and changing his diet and putting him on ashwagandha and fenugreek. Everything started to click. Just boom, 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 like dominoes. Everything fell in the right way. So, for the first time ever in my whole life, I am pregnant. I've never been pregnant before. This is such an amazing journey. I am currently putting together a registry on Amazon. So the wish lists that are like at the bottom of the video, that's just me being selfish, and I put that up there like weeks ago. So that doesn't have enough baby stuff on there yet. So the next video upload, I'm going to start putting up my baby registry. I'm about halfway done with it. I'm really focusing on like STEM for baby and education for baby because I'm in Indiana, and in Indiana they're allergic to education. So I kind of want, baby to have like science, lots of it. So I've got some art and science books on there. I downloaded the Think Dirty app a couple years ago, and this is another thing that helped me with becoming pregnant. I downloaded the hey Sailor Moon, good to see you. I downloaded the Think Dirty app, and I highly recommend it for anybody. There's a free version and there's a paid version. I spent the $3 on the paid version. What I did was after I saw this documentary called Pretty Ugly on HBO Max, they talked about the Think Dirty app. The Think Dirty app, you scan the barcodes of like your soap, your detergent, your hair stuff, your baby stuff, whatever you got in the house, and it'll tell you if it's got carcinogens or hormone disruptors. Thank you, Wolfwood. When I downloaded the Think Dirty app, I scanned everything that was in our bathroom. We had a ton of stuff that was like hormone disruptors. So when I got rid of all that stuff, I got rid of Pantene, I got rid of Old Spice, I got rid of everything like that. Suddenly, like after I changed up my products, my hair products, my soap, and everything, it may not have helped my eczema any, but it helped us with getting pregnant. So, highly recommend the Think Dirty app. Holden, if you are still on the chat, I need to update something. Found out on the Think Dirty app this morning that Dawn dish liquid is actually cancerous. So for doll restorations, I'm switching to Ivory dish liquid. It's not too far away in the price point. You can find coupons for it. Used to use Dawn for my dolls. I am now switching to Ivory. And I had to rewash my Snow White doll. You remember the holiday Snow White doll I had, the holiday princess one? They put too much glue in her hair, so I had to wash all that crap out of her hair. I used Ivory dish liquid to restore her, and I noticed that unlike Dawn, my hands didn't get so eaten up. So for doll restorations, Ivory detergent from now on. Also, Ivory, a lot safer for babies because there's really nothing in it. It's just soap. So thanks to the Think Dirty app, it helped us clear out a lot of chemicals we don't need. So we are expecting a baby. And I'm also using the Think Dirty app as I'm building the baby's registry because I was going to put Huggies diapers on there because that's what I had as a kid. And Huggies diapers are like full of carcinogens and like toxic crap. So on my baby registry, we're going with a version of Love's that doesn't have anything in it. It's just a diaper and nothing more. And I am doing disposable diapers because I'm not sadistic enough to wash diapers. I'm just not. I have a little brother. I'm not doing that. Mm-mm. So, But like this is really exciting news. I'm either gonna have like a chibi tuxedo, or I'm gonna have a chibi Sailor Earth. It's I've never been here before. So I have my first prenatal visit in a few weeks. I've got some blood tests coming up, and this is just the best news ever. So right now I'm like building the registry. I'm like looking through like toys that would be the best for the baby and books that would like be educational without beating them over the skull with anything. um Looking for right now, the big thing I'm trying to find is a good playpen, because the ones on Amazon, they I think they came from Temu, to be honest, because I don't recognize any of these names. It's like the first one was Graco, but that's been on like 6 different recall lists, so I'm not gonna bother with Graco. And then like the rest was just like Happy Fun Baby. Hope everything work out with your child. Aw, thank you. Yeah, Ivory soap. Ivory soap. The Ivory dish detergent so far I notice is more gentle on the skin than the bar soap. Weird how that works. But I washed Snow White's hair in it. I washed Snow White in it, and she seems to be okay. So I'm gonna do a new doll cleaning video eventually, and just switch everything to Ivory. I can still use Cream shampoo and conditioner. I found that actually through the Think Dirty app, so I feel good about that. But yeah, this is the best news I've ever gotten in my whole life. We're gonna be parents. So, I guess going forward, it's not gonna affect my YouTube uploads any, because with my Sailor Moon videos, I preset those like days in advance. So I've got a couple more videos already preset. I'm working on a few more. Um, Moon Sisters I updated on the 18th, and there is going to be another update. I'm just trying to work with a schedule because we both have a lot of doctor's appointments, so I gotta like work around his work schedule. He's working from home now, which is why I'm in the man cave, because he's in the soundproofed room. So we gotta work around both our schedules, and then I can go back to making new content for Moon Sisters. What else is coming up? Um, we're definitely going to have to redecorate our room now, because um, we don't have like a designated room for the baby at the moment. Like, I'm not making John give up his man cave. It's too cool. I mean, just like look at everything John's been putting up. Thank you, Holden. But like, I would not dare make John give up his man cave. Plus, it's kind of like the guest room for when we have friends and family over. Oh, thank you, Kristen. So for right now, we're thinking about setting up the baby bed near our bed. There's a bed I'm going to put on the registry, and it's got like this little fold out thingy where it's like you can fold it up and it's a proper baby bed, or you can fold it down and like, tend to the baby from your own bedside in case like baby needs a diaper change in the middle of the night, which happens a lot. um so we're probably going to temporarily have the baby like right next to us for the first couple months, and then we are going to be looking at another property. um I don't know when, but we are going to have to look at another property soon, just so that when the baby gets old enough to like toddle about, they've got their own designated safe area, and we're not like, crammed all up on top of the baby, because when I was growing up, I intermittently had my own bedroom. There were some years I would have a bedroom all to myself, and some years my mom and my brother were my roommates, because we moved around a whole lot and it was not fun. So for our baby, we want them to have like a designated room where it's just for them, and I'm not having to share or nothing. So just for the first couple months, baby will be sleeping with us. So we've got to rearrange some furniture and redecorate in there. All my dolls, we're going to be moving them to a different shelf, because oh geez, don't put that out there. I saw Sailor Moon Eternal. I saw that, Kristen. Oh shit. And yeah, I'm glad I'm not the only one who got Sleeping Beauty vibes off of Sailor Moon Eternal Part 2, when we go through the backstory to the backstory with baby Serenity. John told me we're not naming the baby Serenity if it's a girl, by the way. He said he watched Sailor Moon, and Serenity is a cursed name. And he watched Sailor Moon Eternal, and he was like, nope, nope, baby was not even out of Queen Serenity 5 minutes, and this shit happened. The answer's no. So, I'm not revealing the baby's name yet. Safety reasons, creepers on the internet, that sort of thing. Not you guys. But John specifically said Serenity is off the list, Momoru is off the list, Chibiusa is off the list, Serena, Darien, Rini, Kousagi. I'm not to name the baby any of these things because he's starting to read the manga, and he's like, okay, and he's kind of reading the manga a little bit out of order. Let's see, what does Holden say? Baby crib to table flip. Sounds like Barbie play crib. I probably got the idea from Barbie. I forgot totally about like what came out for Kelly and Chrissy and Shelly. But yeah, John's like starting to read the Sailor Moon manga. It's kind of like a little out of order. One of the first issues he ever read was Parallel Sailor Moon, and he was like, look at what that poor little girl goes through. She just wanted to make friends, and look what happened. And then a rabbit comet came down. So John said I'm not to name the baby after Tuxedo Mask, Sailor Moon, Sailor Chibi Moon, Sailor Parallel Moon. Absolutely not happening. Luna is also off the list because he watched the episode where Luna was like really fat shaming Usagi, and he had a big problem with that. So I'm not to name the baby Luna, not even the middle name. That's a solid no. So we're thinking he's got some names already picked out that I'm in love with, and when we're further along, we'll discuss when to reveal the baby's name, because like I want John to be included with everything because he's the dad. So I feel like it shouldn't just be the mom making the decisions. It's 50-50. So John is going to make the decision with me on when we reveal the baby's name, but that's not going to be for a while yet because like at this point we don't have a gender or anything. So like we've got some more doctor's visits ahead before we come to that level. I know what he's thinking about for the baby, and I'm in love with it. They're not Sailor Moon names, but they're really cool. They're really cool. So I'm excited about that. My mom said that if it's her turn to babysit the new baby, absolutely, she is thinking about having select episodes of Sailor Moon on, first season usually, because she likes the first season the best. And then, if the Deep Dub picked up Parallel Sailor Moon, Kosagi's name would have been Trixie? Oh, Jesus. That girl has suffered enough. Did you know? There was a rumor, like right before the Tokyo Pop version of the manga came out, and then subsequently before Cloverway got Sailor Moon S, there was a rumor for the longest time that Hotaru was going to be named Jenny. I can't. Like, I'll never forget the first time I heard Hotaru retaining her name in the Cloverway dub. My brother had asked me to help him with learning how to draw Pokemon. He had figured out how to draw Pikachu. Jenny, I'm not kidding. He had drawn Pikachu, but it was a little crooked, so I helped him correct some lines, and then he wanted me to draw a Master Ball. So I'm thinking, okay, a Master Ball is simple to draw. I start drawing the circle, and it's right when Hotaru picks up the hat, and she's about to hand it back to Rini. And Rini's like, oh, thank you so much. What's your name? And then, like, she appears on the screen. She goes like, oh, it's so nice to meet you. My name is Hotaru. I ruined the drawing of the Master Ball. I just drew this big, like, Dreamcast spiral, and I was like, oh, she kept her name! And I was unrealistically happy about that for the whole day. It was like, and she didn't mess it up either. She said, Hotaru. And I just screamed. I was just so happy for her. But, yeah, for real, the Jenny was a name that floated around. Actually, somewhere on Moon Sisters, I know where it is on Moon Sisters. If you go to Moon Sisters and you go to the Lost Dolls of Sailor Moon, scroll all the way down, Irwin, and I do have the booklet somewhere upstairs. Irwin had this booklet. This came out like 97, so it was way before Cloverway got the episodes. Way different names for Pluto and Uranus and Neptune. I think one of them was like Selene or Sarin or something like that. Way different. So yeah, for a while, just like how Utena almost got called Ursula. I remember hearing that. Also, Utena is really weird. But like, I remember hearing like all sorts of strange names. I used to have, you can play the original version on, what is it called? It's a classic game website. There were two versions of this Mahjong game. The original version is easy to find and you can play it in your browser. There was a fan version. I think SailorVGame.org used to have it before that shut down 100 years ago. But there was a fan version. It was on AOL Shareware. It would turn the screen blue, and it would turn all the Mahjong pieces into Sailor Moon characters, but it had different names for the characters. Like, Michiru was still Michelle, which ended up in the Cloverway dub, and we all expected Michelle. Haruka, who became Amara in the Cloverway dub, in the fan game they named her Alexis. And then Sailor Pluto, who's Setsuna in the original version, and in the Cloverway version they named her Trista. In the fan game they named her Susan. And then poor Hotaru was just named Firefly. Like, they just didn't bother picking a girl's name for her. It wasn't even Jenny. It was just Firefly. And I remember playing that game, and this was right after I heard that there were some fans that called Princess Kakyu Princess Fireball, because Kakyu's a weird word. It means olive branch, but in some translations, if you misspell the kanji, it comes out as fireball. So it's like one of those words that can mean two opposite things. So I remember a lot of people called her Fireball. The official Irwin page called her Princess Fireball. They wanted to do a Princess Kakyu toy, but they lost the rights right after the website went up. But Chibi Chibi stayed the same, which is interesting because, like, a lot of people thought Chibi Chibi was going to be named Riri, short for Rini, so Rini times 2. So that was another big rumor I heard, and I was just like, gee, where does that put Ko Usagi? And then somebody said Re Serena or something like that, and I was like, ugh, just call her Bunny. Just make her Little Bunny. That's what Ko Usagi means anyway. But yeah, oh, and that reminds me too, on the no list of names, Hotaru was also put on the no name by my husband. Kanji always complicates me whenever I translate. I hate reading kanji. There's like 3 characters I can write properly in kanji. I am always making mistakes. I'm just like Neo Queen Serenity in that episode where Chibiusa came back from the future and like she had that half scribbled note. I write just like her. Like, I have a fan translation that I did on Moon Sisters for Parallel Sailor Moon. It's a little close to the official translation, but there's chunks of text I didn't do a good enough job on. And because I was trying to mimic what Tokyopop did, I used Tokyopop names and I shouldn't have done that. But like, the kanji part, translating that took an extra month because I was so bad at reading kanji. I need to get back into it. There's Rosetta Stone. I'm thinking about getting a copy of Rosetta Stone. I might even put that on the baby registry. You know, just teach the baby Japanese with me. Let's learn together. There used to be a Roku app for babies. It was Little Pim, and it had a little panda bear, but he taught Japanese, and you can download it for Japanese, Chinese, French, and Italian, I think it was. Kind of like Muzzy, but different. I don't know if Roku still has it or not. I'll have to check. Let's see, what time is it? It's 3:19. So yeah, I am going to jump off of here and work on the baby registry. Usagi gets embarrassed because she only used hiragana and katakana. Yes, oh my god, and did you see the Cloverway version of that episode? Okay, forget jumping off of this video. I gotta just talk about this a minute. So like, you know, this reminds me, where's it at? I've got something down here. What is it? Was it this one? Nope, that's the Sailor Moon R one. Hold on. let's see. Okay, so I don't know if you can tell or not, but like we've got some tapes and DVDs down here. They got mixed up when we moved, though. I've had no time to go through this, and I've got to get like another shelf because this is only like a quarter of what I have. So let's see. Here's my Super S one. There is. Ah, there it is. Okay. Get to show you something I haven't talked about in a hot minute. Okay. Oh, by the way, I actually helped design this one. I'm really proud of that. So, since we're talking about that episode, this is my bootleg Sailor Moon S set that I did not realize was a bootleg when I got it, and this is why I study bootlegs now, so that I can warn other Moonies. I got fooled because I thought this was just going to be one of the Pioneer discs, because they would like trace over the Laserdisc art from Japan and then like do their own thing with it. So I thought this was going to be like one of the Pioneer discs. It's a bootleg. I mean, it's fine in that it does come with like all of Sailor Moon S except for the movie. But it does come sub and dub. You got to go through the menu. Hold on a second. Okay. You got to go through the menu for each disc if you want sub or dub, but the Cloverway dub is on this. So like the one in the middle here with Tuxedo Mask and his daughter. Yeah, that's some pretty cool artwork now that I think about it. That's the one that has like the first Sailor Chibi Moon episodes leading into like the first episode with Hotaru, and then like the rest of the Hotaru episodes go on the Outers disc. But let's see, in the Viz dub, Minako notes that her letter is written poorly, with Artemis saying one letter looks like it's in Hebrew, and Old Mexican dub is basically spelling errors. Okay, I have the Viz dub over there. I didn't actually watch the dub, though. I was too addicted to the subs. So I'm going to have to rewatch that scene. But I remember the Cloverway version, like, pissed everybody off. In the Cloverway dub, when Minako, or Mina, she takes the letter, she, instead of saying, you know, this is written in katakana and hiragana, instead she goes, "You're right, Luna. This doesn't look right. It does look like something Serena would write. I had to read this with my imagination. It's just funny symbols." I died. I just died when I heard that. I was like, funny symbols? Oh my god, this is airing on Toonami in the afternoon for kids, and you're just saying Japanese is funny symbols? What's wrong with you? There was a website that I'm a big fan of. They haven't updated in 1,000 years, but I have a link on. Yeah, Lita and Mina, they both say it's funny symbols. And then Artemis chimes in with that too. He's like, she could have used a dictionary, which is the only thing I agree with. But on Moon Sisters, in the links section, one of my favorite websites is on there. It's called Sailor Moon Uncensored. And they had like sub to dub comparisons of each of the Cloverway episodes. And when it got to that episode, the dude who wrote the stupid dialogue alert box, he said that his friend, he had to talk his friend out of letter bombing Cloverway over that, which this was a few months before 9/11, so you could still make letter bomb jokes. Do that shit today, and Homeland Security makes a cozy nest in your butthole. So don't do that. Never do that. But that's how mad his friend was, because his friend was from literal Japan, grew up near the Minato ward. So, like, he knows, like, where Sailor Moon takes place up close and personal, and he was, like, super pissed. I could see why people were dragging them for... Oh, my God, yeah. Like, it pissed off everybody on the internet. But this was before social media, so all we had were websites and message boards. So, I don't think anybody cared. They never fixed it. It's on my uncut dub VHS tape, my censored dub VHS tape. It's on DVDs. It is on every print I have ever seen of the Cloverway version. It even aired in Canada. Just, it's funny symbols. Oh my God, no. Like, at no point did anybody go back and re-edit this episode. I remember SM Uncensored, I used to read everything there. Yeah, that was a straight addiction for me. I wish they had finished the Sailor Moon R section. But, like, that whole page was, like, my addiction when I was a teenager. Other teenagers, they wanted to, like, I don't know, go get something pierced, go down drugs, knock over 7-Eleven. Me, SM Uncensored. That's where I was as a teenager. But yeah, I remember that, and you know, it's not over here. It's in a box over there. I actually have, I taped off of Cartoon Network the episode as it aired, and it's on that print, and I'm just like, a reasonable adult should have stepped in. You know, it's enough that we have digitally painted bikinis on everything on Toonami. You could have had somebody step in and say, hey, this could be racist. Let's not make Sailor V a racist. I just can't believe they let that line go. But like, SM Uncensored, they had a lot of episodes where they talked about instances where they censored out Japanese text, or they changed out like Japanese statues, and none of this was like bad stuff. Like, there was no sex or violence or naughty language that they were taking out, just like innocuous stuff. But they would then tell you the show takes place in Japan. Chibiusa or Rini would talk about Crystal Tokyo. So Tokyo is in Japan, so if Japan is cool, why censor Japan stuff? I don't get why they did it. I did an article on this on Hub Pages, about a year, 2 years ago, something like that. And yeah, it's just baffling the number of changes. Like, I give Deke a lot of crap, but in all honesty, Cloverway made some weird changes with Sailor Moon that made whatever Deke did make a little bit more sense. But yeah. So, the other thing, speaking of Sailor Moon, we did decide in the house is we're going to have the sub in the house. We could have chosen either the Deke dub, the Cloverway dub, or the Viz dub, but I don't really like the idea of showing a version of something I'm into that's like been changed, altered, censored, Americanized, anything like that. So, oh God, yeah, I was telling my brother about some of the minor edits on Adult Swim. Like, one of the things I remember from Adult Swim, it's supposed to be uncensored, but like the episode where Kikyo came back from the dead of Inuyasha, if you go to Hulu, she's naked. You see her ass. If you watch the original Adult Swim print, she's got one butt cheek. Carl from Uncle Hunger Force can be bare-assed, but not Kikyo. Make it make sense. I mean, I'm not a Kikyo fan anyway. I'm just noticing. But anywho, I never really. I understand why some things had to be censored and altered when I was growing up in the 90s. But now that I've seen the original Sailor Moon, I'm kind of spoiled. So I kind of just want to put the original version on, and once the baby is old enough, like, just read the subtitles to them, help them learn how to read a little bit better. And a big reason why I'm doing that isn't just because I'm not with it with censorship. It's also because if you see my mom, she doesn't look it, but my mom is black and she's German. Mama was born in Kaiserslautern. Don't try spelling it, you'll hurt your head. I've tried. The US military calls it K-Town. Even though I like some dubs, the original Japanese will always hold a meaning to me. Same. My mom was born in Kaiserslautern, Rheinland-Pfalz, Germany. Her dad's black, mom's German. When my mom came to the United States and became a naturalized citizen, she learned English because of comic books. And in the early days of television, this was the 1960s, if there was a show where you could put closed captioning on, which was rare back then, she would pick up English that way. So this was what led to my mom being a huge comic book collector, was she would learn English from reading comics. So when she got a little bit older, and actually right as she was entering adulthood, is when anime VHS tapes started popping up. And um, this really helped with helping her mom learn a little bit better English too, was reading the subtitles on everything. So she would get dubbed anime too, because sometimes you didn't have a choice. You know, Project A-ko for the longest time was just dub. But if there was something that could be subtitled, then she would read it with her mom. And my Oma is not really an anime fan, but my mom is. And when I came along, she would occasionally rent an anime tape here or there that was subtitled. So if I didn't read fast enough or I couldn't understand a big word, she would read it to me and explain it to me. So that's how, when the baby's at the right age, I'm going to introduce Sailor Moon to the baby. And other anime for that matter. I will like read the subtitles as they pop up. If there's big words, I can explain the big words. If there's naughty words, I can say, we don't use that word in this house. Mommy does, you don't. Mommy swears, you babies do not. So that's kind of how I'm going to do it. And that's no disrespect to any of the dub actors. Johnny N. Bosch is like my favorite dub actor of all time, and he was so cool in person. But I love the sub of any anime. I love the passion. I also noticed there's like quiet. Like I'm mad that Hulu took off the original subtitled version of Digimon. I hope they put that back, because if you watch the original version of Digimon, way different than what was on the Fox box. There's like episodes where the kids spend about 10 seconds being quiet, but it lets the scene set in. They're not like constantly whipping out one-liners, you know. Instead of like Ty never shutting the fuck up. Instead, you have a moment where he like looks at the digital terrain and he like lets something that happened with Leomon sink in. And I just love the direction of Japanese anime. So anime that comes into the house is probably going to be primarily subbed. There are some dubs though that I wouldn't mind as much, just when the baby's a little bit older. Custom wrestling masks in the background is cool and badass. Thank you. Yeah, my husband and I both collect. This one with the blue over here, I actually designed this one myself. So I was really happy with that. These come from Japan and Mexico. I like him. Me too. This one is from La Estrella. He's been taking up a lot of bookings in the US lately. He's from Dragon Gate. This was a gift from him. And let me see. Yeah, these aren't even like all of them that my husband has. We have a few more, and then I have my own collection upstairs. I've got Tiger Mask. I have a special custom Spring Tiger, and I've got Aerostar. And I need new mannequin heads for my masks, because mine are a little bit smaller because I have a different sized head. So yeah, you know, and of course John has up his posters. These two up here are shows he produced, and the rest we either went to or they were gifts from friends. Oh, and I got John some CMLL figures. I have some of my own upstairs, and I have the CMLL plushies. CMLL stars are currently on AEW, and that one's Shocker, and that one's Averno. We've got two more. We've got an Atlantis somewhere around here. Atlantis is one of my favorites. He and his son were on AEW last night. His son wrestled Jericho. Oh, another cool thing that my hubby has. The Phantom. Yeah, this came from an old casino machine. They were throwing away parts of the machine, and he asked permission, and they allowed him to recycle it from the trash. So we've got the Phantom there. There's like a little gizmo where his eyes can light up, but it needs to be repaired, so it hasn't really worked in a while. So yeah, this is my husband's man cave. And we're going to be doing redecorating, so when this is finished, we can start redoing our bedroom so that we've got a spot for the baby. So yeah, it is, let me see now, it's, oh yeah, Gizmo from the Gremlins. Yeah, my husband loves the first Gremlins movie. Um, we saw the first and second one when it first went to streaming. Um, this was actually a gizmo I bought him to replace one that he lost. He used to have one of the applause gizmos, and his rotten evil sister destroyed it. So this was one that I bought to replace that, and the one that he lost is on eBay for a reasonable amount of money, so I'm thinking maybe that'll be his Christmas present this year. But yeah, we've got just about everything. Let's see. Like I said earlier, like, oh, hi, William. So yeah, we've got like lots of DVDs and such. And with physical media being popular, this is great because now when the baby comes, baby has movies and cartoons and some anime. Like, I don't know if baby would be interested, but I even have some Hello Kitty anime. Just a little. This was from the Kitty's Paradise series with which was meant for like little kids. It was focused more on Kitty and her twin sister Mimi. I originally saw it on Telemundo in Spanish, and then the English version came out, and it's one of two Hello Kitty series where Hello Kitty is voiced by the Deke voice for Sailor Mercury. So that's what got me hooked. So it's pretty cool hearing Sailor Mercury as Hello Kitty. That's even funnier because for like 30 years in Japan, the current Sailor Moon Cosmos voice for Galaxia was the voice of Hello Kitty. So it's like Hello Kitty and Sailor Moon are always intertwined somewhere. So don't know if the baby will be into Hello Kitty, but definitely going to show the baby that. Almost thought it was a Furby for a sec. I used to have the McDonald's Furbies. They scared the shit out of me. I'll never do that again. But yeah, Gizmo's fine. I have like multiple copies of the Fleischer Supermans. That was like my favorite cartoon as a little girl before Batman the Animated Series came out. They're on the public domain. You can find them on YouTube. Let's see, what's another good one? Ooh. It's not like my favorite version, but I do have some Astro Boy. I think this is dubbed. Yeah, this is dubbed. Yeah, I have like some of the Astro Boy series. Which one is this? Yeah, I think this was the one that actually used to air on let's see. Oh, it's a copyright date. Yep, this is the one that aired on Kids WB for a little while. This was actually a really good version. The Kids WB version of Astro Boy and the original 1960s are my two favorites. The 60s is the most complete because it followed the manga super close, and Osamu Tezuka actually animated parts of it. Small world after all. Yep. What other shows do I have on physical media? I have a lot of DVDs, and I need to organize them because, like I've got like wrestling and some movies mixed up. I'm gonna have to organize that for the baby. What else do I have? Oh yeah, I actually do have, and it's bootleg, but I do have like all of the Cloverway Sailor Moon episodes on DVD. There's like a little menu that you can access with each of them. I do like the artwork. I know where it's traced from, but I do like it. Because like you can kind of see Pala Pala behind Sailor Mercury. Might need a bigger shelf for my manga. I desperately need another shelf because the shelf I used to have for my manga broke. So right now I have like these little bins from the Dollar Tree, and I've got my manga in the little bins, and I put that on a wire shelf, but it's not a proper bookshelf. Let's see, I just unpacked my Assassination Classroom manga right before I found out I was pregnant. I only got 11 books in, so I have to finish the series. I didn't get to finish the collection yet. I've watched almost all of the anime except for the final 3 episodes because I knew what was going to happen because they tell you in the first episode what's going to happen to Koro Sensei, but he's my favorite character, and if I watch it, I'm going to cry. So I skipped the last 3 episodes and went on to the little, what you call it there, the little fantasy based chibi series they did. Because, like, he doesn't die in that one. Sorry if I spoiled that, but, like, nobody dies in that one. It's, like, sad free. But I went ahead and I skipped ahead to the little chibi series, and I was happy about that. Oh my gosh, I still have. I wonder if it still works. Watching old anime makes me feel like I was born in the wrong timeline. It was a crazy time in the 80s and 90s, I'm gonna tell you that. I still have like a few of my old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle tapes. I'm slowly replacing these with DVD because these FHE tapes, they break super fast. I had so many copies. At one point I had 5 copies of this tape alone because I would get 2 or 3 playthroughs and then it would turn all warbly and then the tape would just disintegrate. Oh my god. I forgot I even had this. I got this at the Goodwill once. Not going to recommend this for the baby. Not until the baby's like 17 maybe. I wonder if anybody's streaming Earthian. I don't remember like the last time I watched this. I have 4 of these tapes somewhere. Anime Works. I hope that's vintage enough. Let me see. There you go. Now you can see it. Late 90s, early 2000s artwork. Oh my gosh. What do I have down here? John did a lot of unpacking for me. God love that Walmart smiley with the tentacles. Yes, I'm not the only one who called him that. That's how I got my mom hooked on the show. My mom was just like, what's Assassination Classroom? Because all she saw was Nagisa with a gun. And she was like, we just had a school shooting last week. And I was like, no, you don't get it. Imagine these kids, they're bad students. They're in a classroom to get better. But before they can graduate, they got to kill the Walmart logo. And at the time, my mom worked at Walmart, and she was like, and so that's how I got my mom hooked on Assassination Classroom. And my brother had gotten turned down for a job at Walmart. So I told him, like, it's the Walmart logo. And he was watching Assassination Classroom. He liked, what is her name? He liked the female assassin. The one they never got her name right. They kept calling her the B word. I'm blanking on her name. What else do I have down here? I do have, let's see. Oh my goodness. So I have a spot on Moon Sisters for it. I haven't gotten around to actually working on this. Eventually, and I don't know when eventually is, so don't put a clock on it. Eventually, I will be reviewing many of the Sailor Mew plays. This is not an official copy. This is a copy I got through dubious means. But I do have almost all of the Sailor Mew plays on my laptop, except for a few of the newest ones. So I've got all the ones from the 90s, all the ones from the early 2000s, and then all of like the newest ones except for the new Kaguya play where Luna turns human, and the Team Moon versus Team Star plays. It's like Lean on Me, but with guns. I prefer Assassination Classroom to Lean on Me, just personally. I felt like it was more fun. I have a lot of bootleg DVDs. Like, I have a weird Chinese import of 2 of the Bleach movies. 2-in-1 deal! Somebody gave me this for free when I purchased a plushie, and I'd never seen Bleach before, so this was my introduction to Bleach. That's another one that the dub is actually okay. It's got Johnny Yun Bosch. My fave. And then, oh, here's another bootleg I forgot about. One of the Miku concerts. I have this one, and then I have an official Blu-ray upstairs in the living room. That one I did a review on for Hub Pages. And, oh god, here's another bootleg. You can actually stream this in amazing quality right now on Retro Crush. It actually has, like, my bootleg has all 4 of the Project A-ko movies, but Retro Crush has all of them right now. Okay, all of them except for Uncivil Wars, because there's a side A and a side B of that. But all of them except for Uncivil Wars are on Retro Crush in way better condition than what we had in the 80s and 90s. Not quite one I would recommend for the baby. Maybe when the baby's a little older. Because, like, I got into Project A-ko when I was 9. I had no business watching Project A-ko. Like, here's how crazy the 90s were, okay? Like, back in, what year am I going into? Okay, so this is 1996, which is when this story takes place. 1996, this is right before my 10th birthday. We had Hollywood Video and Blockbuster Video. Usually we went to Hollywood Video because it was a little cheaper. Blockbuster, though, had Sailor Moon stuff. JYB played the hell out of Ichigo. Fuck yeah, he did. I love Johnny and Bosch. My favorite role that he was in Trigun as Vash the Stampede. Another dub, probably not good for the baby, but my husband and I loved it, although my husband did not know that what was going to happen with Wolfwood, so I should have given him a heads up, but I didn't. But I'll stop there so I don't spoil anything. That's on Hulu. And if you have the Hulu Disney Plus crossover, Trigun appears there too, and it does not belong with Disney princesses. Oh, God. Okay, so story time. For no reason. Just random story time. This is 1996. I am going to be 10. I am not 10 yet because my birthday's in November, but I'm almost 10. And my dad decided he was mad at me because I was very much into Sailor Moon, and he wanted me to get into other stuff and broaden my horizons, which is code for stop liking the things you like. So, you were a toddler at the time. I'm 100. Nice to meet you. So, I went to a Hollywood Video, and I was told I had to rent something not Sailor Moon, which was an easy choice because Hollywood Video never carried Sailor Moon, which would be cool if they did. Maybe they'd still be in business. So I went to the anime section, and back then, they had stickers on some of the tapes, but not all of the tapes. Like Violence Jack had a sticker, not for children. It was on the highest shelf, and if you go to Retro Crush and you see Violence Jack, you'll understand why that's not ever for children. In fact, that should be for people in general. But like, Violence Jack was on the top shelf, and Akira was right next to it. And usually on like the lower shelves where a 9-year-old can reach, that's usually where they put like kitty stuff. So like, they had a spot for Hello Kitty, but somebody had already rented Hello Kitty, so no Hello Kitty that day. Then they had a tape for some other TV show. I'm blanking on the name of it because I was never a fan, but that had been rented. And then, like, someone had goofed up. There should have been another shelf up here where, like, stuff for, like, ages 13 plus goes, but for some reason they had an overstock. So stuff that should have been up here for teenagers, like Ranma, Sailor Moon Crystals, Cardcaptor Sakura. Oh, yeah, Snow Fairy Sugar. Oh, with her mom. Oh, I can't even get into that. But, like, the teeny bopper section was up here. Usually that would be, like, Ranma, some of Rumiko Takahashi's other products, and then, like, 1 or 2 other titles. Well, somebody goofed. It was their last day working at Hollywood Video, so the stuff that belonged here was down here where I could reach. So that day, I rented Project A-ko, Devil Hunter Yoko 5, and Birdie. And, one of the Lupin the Third movies. I can't remember which one it is. I think it's on Retro Crush right now. It's one of the few ones where like Fujiko has shorter hair, and I remember she was like nude for a lot of it. Randomly, just it's Fujiko, it doesn't matter. But like, this was how I got into Lupin the Third. Instantly loved Project A-ko. I would constantly rent that one. Instantly loved Devil Hunter Yoko 5. Birdie was okay. And it's so weird to me that a lot of these titles are legally on streaming in way better quality. And then, like, the next time I went to rent videotapes for myself, it was 97, and I was officially 10. So at the video store, it was like once you're 10, you're in the double digits. You should have your parents with you, but it's not a necessity. It would not stay that rule forever. So like I hit a growth spurt. So I was thinking I was like so grown because I'm 10. So at that point, I went through the Teeny Bopper videos. I rented a Ranma episode, the one with the where she's got to get like the chestnut through the fire, and I rented my first two Tenchi Muyo tapes. I watched a lot of Tenchi Muyo when I should not have, and knowing how the series goes, I'm regretting every bit of that. Like, the music slaps, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of incest. I should have stopped. But I rented Tenchi. I got the first couple of OVAs. And then it was like, I got OVAs 1 through 4, and then 7. Way out of order. And then I actually purchased a couple the first two Tenchi tapes because they were like getting rid of them. Congratulations on the pregnancy. Thank you. You guys are going to be amazing parents. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, like I remember renting Tenchi, Ranma, and it wasn't another Lupin movie. There was another one that I rented. It was... Shoot, I'm forgetting the name of it right now. It was... Let's see, I had rented Project A-ko, and then... Bubblegum Crisis! That's the other one I rented. I rented Bubblegum Crisis, and like I'm 10 years old, and these are the tapes I choose. I have no business watching any of this, by the way. But like that's how weird the 90s was. Like on the one hand, you had a lot of people who censored everything anime to death, but then on the other hand, you had a lot of grown-up stuff that was like pushed down for a little kid age. Like looking at the old Toonami lineups, we had no business watching Outlaw Star or Cowboy Bebop or Big O. You know, that should not have been aimed at us. A Gundam Wing, but for some reason we had that. A little bit censored until Adult Swim popped up, or rather, Toonami Midnight Run popped up. But like, we had no business watching these shows at all on Toonami. It was wild. So yeah, like, today I'm gonna go through and make that baby registry, and then go through my wonderful collection. This isn't even my final form. And start making a list of titles for the baby. You know, little age group titles there. And yeah, I've got to go for a walk because I have to maintain a little light exercise. No lifting, no strenuous activity, but I do have to walk every day. That's what the doctor said. So let me see. I'm gonna jump off of here and go for my walk and get some water because I'm a little parched. But thank you folks for your goodwill and for joining me on this little tour. We've got some doctor visits to get ready for the baby. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you folks very soon.